He's doing real huge stretches. Kind of like this. He's doing it in B. And then doing the same notes. Would be when I try it on the D string, and then the low E, or at least I think so, because I can't imagine any way to do it. But he must have like the world's biggest, most huge left hand or small scale guitar or something. Instant tendonitis. Just add this lick. Let me see, a couple other examples of things you could do with that. Here's something kind of like that, but a little bit easier. You can take the one I've got written out and put it in E, so we'd be in 12th position. And that'd also be E, G, and B. And you just reach down with your third finger and get the 14th fret of the G string, which would be a B note, and do it like this. And to get the lower octaves, try doing the same notes on the D string, which would be 14th position, same left hand shape. For that particular thing, I'm picking every note except for the descending part on the high E string, so it'll all be picked, pick, except for those two notes that I pull off on the high E. And if you're feeling real crazy, you can go down and hit the notes on the low E string, which will be the same frets as the high E string. Another instant tendonitis one, but that one's a little bit easier. That kind of thing can get you into some real cool string skipping ideas. Well, actually, that one's coming up. Yeah, that one's the last one. We'll go to this one first, then we'll get into the terrifying string skipping licks. This one is more of a sweep picking thing. It's the third one on the page, it says C major above it. Basically what I've been trying to do a lot is get arpeggio licks that are a little more rhythmic. A lot of times when you hear guys do arpeggios, it's I certainly would never do that. This one's a little more rhythmic oriented. You can get hip triplet things or whatever out of it. It's based around the C major shape, the cowboy C, an octave up. And I'm adding a couple notes and an F note at the beginning because it's kind of a pedal tone sound. Something like that. That's basically the beginning of it. For picking that, I'm doing all alternate picking for the first couple notes. Be down, up, and then two more ups. So I have 3 upstrokes in a row. From there, I've got 2 notes on the D string that I play. One happens again, so it's actually 3 notes. And that'll sound like this, so the whole lick sounds like that. Some variations on that. Which is cool too. I can never quite get enough of And the last one, some hip string skipping stuff. You gotta excuse my 60s lingo, it's coming back. Hip, groovy, all those words. The next one, 12th position, E minor, sounds like this. I'll do it slow first. If you look on, I've got the word string written there. You can look, it goes from 3 notes on the first string to 5 notes on the third string to 5 on the first and 2 in the second. You can kind of notice, watch my hands on how it goes just from string to string like that. That's a pretty cool exercise. Some variations on that you can do. Just take like that first part and harmonize it or whatever. Something like this. loads of fun going from the low E to the high E. Take two. Makes those normal licks seem easy. And any questions about this? Basically, if you didn't bring your video camera, hopefully the music underneath will help. I've got pretty explicit upstroke and downstroke and hammer on pull-up notations underneath. This pickup is a Duncan distortion, which is wired in parallel. It just makes it a little bit treblier. I've got aluminum tape on it to shield it. Someone mistook it for duct tape. Shame. If you have the whole guitar shielded, you can disconnect the wire from your bridge. There's no buzzing noises.
What's your neck?
That's a Duncan vintage Firebird, I think. It's I just love it. I can get a high note off it. It was pretty cool. One thing that really helps for consistency is to kind of go through and just figure out. I mean, a lot of times, if your picking is inconsistent, you'll consistently make mistakes in certain spots. And if you go through that and kind of figure out what upstrokes and downstrokes are really important to nail. For instance, if you're doing a straight 300 string scale, you'll find that every time your first finger hits a string, it'll alternate between a down and an up. You'll start out with a down, and up, down, up, down, up. You want to concentrate on that first, then you may get to the point where you only want to concentrate on the down, so you can go like down, down, down. A lot of times I'll just think about that and it'll help a whole lot. One thing I've been doing lately to make those real fast runs a little more rhythmic oriented is I'll do something like that, something like the 300 string scales, and then shift up to the next position and descend down to the same thing. What happens is that reverses your picking technique. You get real used to having a downstroke with your first finger on the 6th string, and when you go up and shift to the next position, everything reverses, so that becomes an upstroke. And that feels real weird at first, but a good exercise for that, try this one, just take 6 notes, any 6 notes in a scale, shift to the next position, and descend, and just do that over and over again, shifting between the two positions, so it sounds like this slow. Most of the time I'm muting on the bridge to just to keep the strings from going real wild. Actually I play a little lighter because my amp system now is really responsive, so I can pick real light and still have it tearing everybody's face off. But a lot of times when I do arpeggio stuff, I'll end up picking a little closer. If I have to do two-handed picking at the same time, kind of like something like this. Combination of picking and two-handed, so I'll pick closer up like that. In fact, someone had requested a major 7th and a minor 7th arpeggio. Here's the man. So here they are. Slow. A slow major 7th arpeggio. I basically just kept this out of a Frank and Bali speed picking book. It's pretty much all odd numbers of notes per string, either 1 or 3. Be 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1. And here it is loud and slow. So we can pull off a little bit quicker. And a minor 7th. There's usually when I do minor 7th, I do the string skipping stuff. It's just actually a fairly easy thing to visualize. You've got, for instance, if you're going to do A minor 7th, I just go to 12th position, play G, A, and C on the G string, the 7th. third, or seventh root and third, and then I wouldn't play the B string at all. We'd go right to the high E and play E, G, and A. So that you have 6 notes out of any minor 7th arpeggio. That's way easier, or for me anyway, it's way easier than sweep picking stuff.
So the G string runs the whole step and a step and a half.
Right, so for the fingering you'd have like a whole step and then a minor third, and then for the high E string you'd have a minor third and then a whole step. So basically your first finger and pinky are in the same place the whole time, just for the G string use your second finger, for the E string use your third. Like this. A lot of times I'll reach down with my third finger and get the low C. That triad thing. Happening late. Oh yeah, the diminished one is one of the easier shapes because it's the same fingering for each string. Spooky sound. Ooh, 8-finger technique. Let me see. Well, if you I haven't done this in a while, but that usually doesn't matter. Oh yeah, I gotta do the teeth sweeps. This is the lick of the future. I can get this about like 1 out of 20 times. We'll see how my luck is.
Without your drill. Yeah, where's your drill?
Oh, I don't have the drill here. Well, if you come to the show, I'll have the drill.
Is the bit gonna stay on?
Yeah, I got a new improved bit.
Okay, cool. How do you feel about a scallop neck?
I like the feel a lot. The problem that I have is the high E always seems to go off the edge of the fretboard. I have like the way I usually set my guitars, I have the string spacing real close. On this I've got the saddles as close together as they'll go. So I've got a lot of room on either side of the low E strings. And when so I'm used to being able to have some play there, and when I get on a scallop neck with the strat type spacing, the high E always goes right off the edge of the fretboard. But I always use real tall frets, so I get the same kind of feel without having to have the strings slip off all the time. I think what I'll try next is like a scallop that's only in the middle. It's a joke. Any more questions? Way back there. I've actually never owned a guitar with a maple neck or a maple fingerboard, so I don't know. I guess Rose would. I'll go over here. You guys know it. You don't have any questions. I have a question. What time is it?
People said one from GIT said you made some like weird video game sounds again.
Oh yeah. I don't know how musical these are, but they definitely resemble video games. My favorite one, this isn't two-handed, but I just try to get the same note on every string. Or decent. I gotta metronome it a little more. I'm just getting F. There are all sorts of weird things you can do with the old 6-string twanger. name this one. Yeah. Get my keyboard lifted. What kind of pickup? It's a Duncan distortion in parallel with aluminum tape over it to confuse spectators.
How often do you and Bruce have to practice together to keep your harmonies so tight every day? Or?
It's nice when we can. Although it's really weird because a lot of times the harmonies that to me, I mean, ones that will sit there and just go, man, these are impossible. Why did we ever write these? Live, they'll come off real well. So a lot of times I'm feeling adrenaline has something to do with it.
Okay, how about your harmonies with John when you're doing the bass riffs too along with that? Like what kind of scale do you use when you're doing like on Scarify, for example? What kind of scale?
Oh, it's just natural minor. It's F sharp, natural minor. I actually do use melodic minor occasionally. Have you heard the Joy Tafoya stuff that I played on? Because that's chock full of it. I basically use it the same way that I use harmonic minor stuff. If you've got a progression with a 1 chord and a 5 chord, the normal way you use harmonic minor would be, let's say if you're doing E to B, play E harmonic minor over the B. And I just do E melodic minor instead. It's real similar sound. In fact, that particular application, basically what you get is a natural minor scale with a raised third. It sounds like this, which is real common. I mean, like a lot of classical stuff. If you ever heard this, that's the same scale. You got all the notes in natural minor, except the third is raised up to a major third. So it's not weird. A lot of melodic minor stuff is kind of associated with being jazzy or kind of out, and it can sound real in. I'm just going to keep slowly backing away from this microphone until it's real loud, then get real close and go, yeah! What's that? Oh, effects?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I got a whole rack thing that lights up and dices and slices at this point.
Easy right now.
I'm using an ADA MP1 2 preamp, which is the world's coolest thing since the wheel and fire. And I'm running that through some reverbs and a harmonizer occasionally, a hush to make it silent, and then it goes out to. I'm using these Ampeg V4s just because they're cheap, clean power, and nobody knows what they are. They sound real bad for like a straight. If you plug straight in, they're no good for distorted amps. But as a clean amp, which is basically what I need because the preamp has tons of distortion, they work real well. And basically, compared to the system I'm using before, it's real. I can get a lot of different tones. I can step on a button and have a real great clean tone without tons of hiss, which I couldn't really do before. And also the tone is just unbelievable. In my rehearsal studio, I A/B'd my new system with Tubble Line Mesa Boogie Mark III and my best sounding Marshall mod amps, and it was like night and day. Way back here.
There's an album by a group called Mad at the World, and they thank you on that album. I was wondering what you're involved with.
A group called what?
Mad at the World.
That's a title of ours, but I don't remember an album by that.
They thank you on that. Maybe it's a different culture.
Oh, you mean Roxanne? I don't know. Well, I thank them back, but I don't know what it is. we have a tune called that. Maybe that's where they got their name.
Maybe so.
Sure. Actually, the question is the 2 arpeggio runs in Sacrifice. I actually only do the first one, which is a diminished arpeggio. I do it with the string skipping thing. Bruce does the next one, which is a G major triad, like basically looks a lot like the old G bar chord with the thirds added. This is it up on octave. Something like that. Bruce knows it. We'll get him in here next time. One more awesome question. Who hasn't gotten one? Who's got the happening question of the year?
Your next album.
Next album, it's a live one. Oh, it just goes, it modulates from D minor to B minor. Oh, I think it's something like...
What are you doing now?
It's a lot of stuff where I'm going up 6 notes, in D minor, natural minor, then maybe studying on that string, like the A string, and doing 4 notes up and down, going up 6. It'd be like, similar to like what I did in Blowing Up the Radio. In fact, if anybody's seen the new Guitar World, there's an ad for GIT that I did, where I've got a lick written out, and it's basically that kind of sequence there. Real good exercise for alternate picking. You get a lot of the, you have to change real fast between the 2 strings with outside picking. System, I never do that. But thanks a million for coming out. Sorry I couldn't stay longer, but I got to go to the show, and it's all here. We're playing in Anahiem at the Celebrity Theater with LA Guns. we got no sound check, but we don't need sound check. We got our own sound man. We got the 88.
Who's opening?
Triumph? No, I don't know. we did have. There was an ad. For our last show at Jezebel's, they had some magazine I saw, they had an ad for our show, and it said, first of all, it had us on the wrong night, but it had us headlining over Triumph and Riot. So Racer X, Triumph, Riot. I thought that was great. I didn't know they were playing on the bill, but... Thank you so much. Here's Mark Wittenberg.
Now, before you run off, we've done something to bribe you to stay here.